Hey guys, it's Caitlin and welcome back to another episode of Grace Talk. I am so excited to be sitting down and finally filming another video. It is finally spring break, the first day of spring break, and I'm off and I'm so excited that I get to relax and focus on schoolwork now and also do more studying and film videos and do more blog posts. I'm so excited to be off work for 3 weeks. And I feel like I can finally take a deep breath and just relax instead of rushing like I always do. So I'm so excited to be sitting down and finally filming a video. Now this is a topic that I've been wanting to talk about for so long, and the topic of the video has actually gotten in the way of me filming this, and it has been a struggle for about 2 months now, but I'm so excited to sit down and finally talk about it, because this is what we're meant to do. We are meant to sit and talk about our problems and share our burdens with one another, and so that's what we're going to do today. So I have my notes on my phone as usual, so you will see me have my phone out, but for this topic, it's been a struggle, and I've talked to my preacher about it. I've talked to peers and other adults that I trust about it, and they help so much. But I wanted to make this video to tell you that if you struggle with this as well, you are not alone, and it is okay to seek help from others, and it is okay to talk about our problems. My anxiety comes and goes as seasons, I think of it, and for a while I will be perfectly fine and everything in my life will be good, and then boom, it hits and I'm down, and I hate that. It's awful, and it affects everything in my life. But I've learned that it's okay to talk about these things. We shouldn't have to bear these burdens alone, because the Lord has put people in our lives that we can share these things with, and that they can help us and we can pray for each other. Sometimes I feel like my entire world is crashing down over something that I can't control and something that is far off in the future that God has already handled. But that's just me. That is my flesh, and my flesh is weak. And so I worry about these things and I dwell on these things that I shouldn't even worry about. But it happens, and it's only because we're human. But I wanted to tell you that you're not alone, and if you struggle with this as well, you can go to people, and that's what they're here for, and you can go to God. So I've put together a few tips that have helped me through this, and I'm not going to sit here and tell you that I have found the magic answer that cures anxiety, but I'm going to tell you some tips that help you get through it and make it a little more bearable. I know that the devil is out to destroy you, and if you even have a tiny bit of hope in your life that God is going to do something with you and use you in whatever kind of way, the devil hates that, and he wants to destroy that, and he will make you doubt and be anxious and want to totally give up on everything. Because I've been there. I was there yesterday, and we cannot get to that point because God is using us for a greater purpose than we can ever imagine. So when the devil gets in your mind and makes you think these thoughts, just dig in deeper to what you believe, and it helps so much. Whatever you're going through, do not give up on God, because if the devil is trying to tear you down, that means that you are valuable to God, and God has a plan for your life. So that wasn't a point, but it's in there now. But my first point in overcoming or getting through any kind of anxiety is talk to God about it. Go to the one who can solve it all. Just go to him. I know that sometimes anxiety feels like a small piece to a huge puzzle, but if it is big enough to bother us in our lives, it is big enough to bring to God. He wants us to come to him over our burdens and our worries. And just talking to Jesus about everything calms my nerves, because I can get in a quiet place and I can gather my thoughts together and take a deep breath and say, Jesus, this is what I'm going through. This is what I'm dealing with. Can you help me with this? And I know I have full faith that he will help me with it. Your prayers might not be answered immediately. As the preacher was preaching yesterday, Sometimes we have to go through things in life, but that doesn't mean He doesn't love us. That doesn't mean He isn't there for us. He still hears our prayers. Even though we feel so far away from Him, He is there. Go to Him. He will give you peace. He will help you. I cannot tell you how many times that God has just given me this peace of mind, even during a song or even just laying in bed at night. And I'm like, okay, I can do this. It's going to be okay. So my next 2 points actually go with this verse, and it is Galatians 6:2. Bear ye one another's burdens, and so fulfill the law of Christ. My second point in overcoming or getting through anxiety is going to your pastor or his wife. Now, I know this can kind of be a little scary for some, but I promise you that it is the best thing that I've done for my anxiety, is going and talking to my pastor and his wife. Yes, it was nerve-wracking at first, sitting down and just kind of telling him all of my problems, but his advice helped me more than I can explain, and I think about it daily, about the nuggets that he gave me that helped me get through. So I'm so blessed to have a pastor that I feel comfortable enough to go to him and talk about my problems, and he's there, and I know that he's praying for me. I also feel comfortable going to his wife about things, but if you don't feel comfortable, you can always go to your pastor's wife or even a trusted adult in the church and talk about your problems. I don't know how many countless times that I have went to specific people in my church about problems, and I know that they have the same things going on in their lives, and so we can talk about it and pray for each other and encourage each other, and that is just the greatest thing. But if you don't want to go to your pastor alone, get a group together, because your friends should be there to encourage you and to help you through. So grab a bunch of your friends and say, hey, will you go with me? And I know a few weeks ago, a bunch of members of my youth group got together and we just started talking about our problems, and we said, let's go to the preacher together. And so we did, and we sat in his office and we just talked about the things that we're feeling and we were going through, and we prayed together, and it was one of the best things that I have done in a while. It helped me so much. So my point number 3 in coping with anxiety is having really great Christian friends. This helps me so much. My friends and my youth group are my world, and I go to them so much over things, and I know that they go through the same exact things that I'm going through, and they help me so much just to sit and talk about our problems and talk about our worries and our doubts, and just finding somebody that is going through the same thing as you are feels so amazing. Not because, I mean, you know, it's a bad situation all around, but when you find that person that you can connect with and you can say, I'm dealing with that too, I'm struggling with that too, it's like a breath of relief, because it makes you feel like you're not kind of crazy and that you're not the only one that's going through this. It's amazing to surround yourself with people that you know that are praying for you, and when you go to them, you can say, will you pray for me? And they will. It's totally different. God has blessed me tremendously with an amazing youth group, an amazing group of friends that I know that are there for me, and I know that will share my burdens and that I can go to. I know that God has strategically placed these people in my life that I can go to and talk at any time, and it helps. Like a few weeks ago, I sat in my cousin's car and we just talked about everything, and it's just reassuring, it's helping, and I pray that in your life you can find those Christian friends that will encourage you as well and that you can talk to. And if you don't have those, pray that God will show you those friends, because it helps so much. So my 4th point, it's not entirely biblical, but it is surround yourself with things that you love. So if you play an instrument, practice regularly. If you, like for instance, I drink hot tea and it relaxes me and it calms me and I love it. So find something that you love and find your favorite verses and your favorite songs and surround yourself with the things that make you feel happiest in life. If you love taking baths like I do, take a bath. You know, just do those things that will calm your nerves and ease your mind. But what helps the most out of all of this is digging into God's Word, even if it makes you kind of nervous, because I know there are parts in the Bible that kind of make my stomach kind of hurt. You know, it makes you nervous, and I understand that. I totally do. But you still got to dig in there and find those nuggets that will help you through life. A verse that comes to my mind that goes with my last point is Proverbs 3 and 5. Trust the Lord with all thine heart, and lean not unto thine own understanding. So how many times do we lean on our own understanding? I know I do all of the time. I find something like in the Bible or something, a situation, and my mind just starts dwelling on it and twisting it and twisting it. And I know that my mind is not capable to comprehend all that God is and everything that He has planned for us. But my mind is flesh, and flesh is not meant to comprehend the things that God has in store for us. Sorry, my camera shut off. But that is why sometimes we get nervous about the things of God, because we cannot comprehend it. We do not have a Christ-like mind yet. But we will, and one day it will all make sense. Everything that causes us anxiety and worries will make sense. We just can't comprehend it now, and even that makes me like a little nervous. But to know that God has strategically planned out everything for a reason really helps. So these were just a few tips that have helped me through this anxious period, and if you would like for me to go in deeper and touch on actual things, it's funny, but if you would like for me to go deeper into the things that cause anxiety and how to overcome each one of those, I can. I know that this was just scratching the surface of this whole web of anxiety and how to help and overcome, and I know I just touched on a few things that make me anxious, but the point of it all is that you're not alone, and there are people willing to help you if you will just reach out to them and reach out to God, and He will help you overcome anything. I know that, and even though I haven't totally overcome it yet, I know that God will help me through it. Sometimes we ask God, why has He not removed this situation out of our lives? Truth is, sometimes we need it, and as hard as that is to understand, sometimes we need these things. For instance, my point is always, maybe we're going through something in life so later on we can help others, and if that is the case, then I will gladly go through these things so I can help somebody else in life, and so that God can use me in a bigger way than I can imagine, because if He just took this out of my life, He might not be able to use me in the way that He wants to. I hope that these tips helped you, and I hope that it encourages you. So I'll pray for you if you will pray for me, and I really hope that this touched you today and that this helped you. And I pray that whatever storm you are going through, that God will help you and give you the grace to get through it. So I thank you so much for watching today. Please feel free to message me at any time, and we can talk more in depth about the things that you're feeling and the things that I'm feeling, and I'm always open to have a conversation. So please feel free to reach out to me on any of the social media platforms that we have. We have an Instagram, Facebook, and email, so message at any time, and I will gladly talk to you, and you can tell me about your burdens and I'll share mine, and we can just talk about it, because that helps more than anything. So thank you for watching. Thank you for praying for Grace Talk, and I will see you very soon. God bless. Have a good day. Bye.